At the beginning of the story, we see a brilliant scientist named Victor who is busy creating a special robot inside his lab. Along with him, his wife Nadia and his colleague Katya were also helping in this project. Together, the three of them were building a robot called A112, designed to think like humans and perform every kind of task. The moment the machine was activated for the first time, everyone's eyes were locked on it. But the beginning was far from easy. The robot could not even walk properly. It kept falling again and again and crashing into nearby objects. Seeing this, all three of them became a little worried. Victor continued working non-stop, but the real problem started when the robot failed to control its own strength. It began smashing everything around it. Watching this made Victor extremely disappointed. That was when Nadia tried to calm him down and said that this was only the testing phase. If they improved the robot's brain further, it would eventually learn everything. Slowly, their hard work finally started showing results. The robot learned how to balance itself, and now it could walk properly, too. With every new training session, it was becoming smarter and more powerful than before. The three of them were extremely happy seeing the progress of their project. One day, while working in the lab, Nadia received a call from her son, Mista. She was very busy at that moment, so she texted him and told him to talk to his father instead. After that, Nadia asked Victor to check what Mista wanted. When Victor called his son, Mista said in a sad voice that he wanted his father to pick him up from school. He said he hated being there and was even thinking about quitting math completely. But Victor did not like hearing those excuses at all. In anger, he told him to stop making excuses and focus on his studies. After hearing his father scold him, Mista became even more. Just then, a few mischievous kids at school started making fun of him. Frustrated and angry, he walked into his classroom and asked the teacher if math would still matter if he wanted to become an artist someday. The teacher calmly explained that yes, it absolutely would. To make him understand, he gave the example of the famous artist Leonardo da Vinci, who had also worked on engineering and design before becoming a legendary artist. He had even created models of different machines, which helped him become so great. But instead of understanding the lesson, Mista only became even more irritated after hearing that. A few hours later, the teacher at school was checking every student's homework one by one. But when she opened Mista's notebook, instead of math problems, it was filled with beautiful drawings everywhere. The teacher was impressed by his artwork, but she clearly told him that this was a math class, not an art class. Because of this, she failed Mista in the test. Hearing that completely ruined his mood even more. Meanwhile, back inside the lab, Victor was testing the voice system of robot A112. That was when he discovered that Nadia and Katya had installed a childlike voice inside the robot. Seeing this made Victor extremely angry. The biggest problem was that they no longer had enough time to change the voice because they had to attend an important meeting immediately. During the meeting, they showed the committee and the general a training video of the robot. In the footage, it was clearly visible that A112 was completing the missions, but during dangerous situations, its reactions were slightly slow. The general angrily pointed out that even a small delay like that could cost someone's life. He also mocked the robot's childish voice and said that it needed to become stronger, faster, and much more advanced. Victor stayed calm on the outside, but deep down, he was furious at Nadia and Katya. At the same time, while returning home from school, Mista ran into his friend Grant, who worked cleaning the streets. Mista sadly told him that the teacher had sent him to the principal's office. Grant tried to comfort him and even offered to go to the school in place of his parents if needed, but Mista refused and quietly walked away from there. Later that night inside the lab, Victor was alone speaking with robot A112. In frustration, he asked why its test results had turned out so badly. The robot innocently replied that maybe it was simply having a bad day. Hearing that answer only irritated Victor even more, but suddenly, the robot changed the topic completely. It asked if it could see pictures of Victor's family. In reality, it wanted to understand humans and the meaning of family. Victor coldly replied that those things had nothing to do with it, but the robot asked once again, "Are you all my family?" Hearing this, Victor immediately denied it. He told the robot that it was only a machine, not a human being, and machines do not have families. After saying that, all three scientists walked out of the lab, leaving A112 standing alone in the darkness. After reaching home, Victor and Nadia heavily scolded Mita. The reason was his math homework, where instead of solving the questions, he had filled the entire notebook with drawings. In anger, Victor told him that even his drawings were nothing special. He said Mita should study hard like his parents and become a great scientist someday. Hearing this made Mita completely lose his temper. He shouted loudly that he would never become like either of them. Listening to those words from his own son deeply hurt Victor from the inside. The atmosphere inside the house became painfully tense. Meanwhile, back inside the lab, A112 was standing there completely alone. It was trying to understand the things humans often talked about. That was when it came across the word family inside a dictionary. The robot wanted to understand the meaning of that word, but reading a book alone was not enough for it. So, it decided that if it truly wanted to understand family, then it had to find a real one. After this, A112 used its weapons to break open the lab door and quietly escaped outside. Now, for the very first time, it was wandering alone through the massive city. Everything around it felt completely new. While walking, it almost crashed into a small train moving along the street, but stopped just in time. A little later, it noticed a group of boys painting graffiti on a wall. Suddenly, after hearing the robot's voice, one of the boys slipped and fell down. A112 quickly saved his life, but even after being rescued, the boy became terrified and ran away from there. Seeing this made A112 feel deeply sad. It could not understand why everyone was so afraid of it. After some time, it reached a construction site where workers were operating heavy machines. The robot politely told them to finish the work quickly because the loud noise was disturbing nearby people. But after hearing its strange voice and seeing its giant metallic body, all the workers got scared and started running away. Now, A112 was completely alone once again. It pulled out a photo that it had brought from the lab and stared at it carefully. Again and again, only one question kept running through its mind. Where was its family? The next day, Victor and his entire team arrived at the lab, but the moment they entered, everyone was shocked because A112 had disappeared from the laboratory. Victor instantly realized that the robot had escaped on its own. Now, all of them began searching for it everywhere. Meanwhile, at school, the teacher was telling the students about a new robotics competition. She announced that this time, every student would have to participate in it. Hearing this, Mr. suddenly stood up from his seat. The teacher looked surprised and asked why he did not want to participate. She sarcastically reminded him that he considered himself a great artist, didn't he? Hearing this in front of the entire class made Mr. feel deeply embarrassed. It felt as if everyone was laughing at him. Angry and frustrated, he walked out of the classroom. At the very same time, A112 had already reached outside Mista's house. Using its robotic finger, it created a fake key and easily unlocked the door before quietly entering inside. Once inside the house, the robot stood in front of a mirror. Looking at itself made it feel sad because it still believed that it had nobody in this world to call its own. Just then, the sound of the front door suddenly echoed through the house. The robot immediately hid itself. A few seconds later, Mista entered the house. In frustration, he threw his school bag onto the floor and walked straight into the bathroom. But the moment he finished washing his hands and turned around, he saw A112 standing right in front of him holding out a towel. In reality, the robot had also hidden itself inside the bathroom. Seeing it there terrified Mista so badly that he crashed into the sink in panic. The robot immediately rushed to help him and calmly said not to worry because it could treat his injuries. Out of fear, Mista ran into his bedroom and quickly climbed onto his bed. That was when A112 spoke in a gentle voice and said that it would never hurt him. It only wanted to help. When the robot noticed that Misha had calmed down a little, it introduced itself properly. It said, "My name is A1112. I am a multifunctional rescue robot." After that, the robot explained everything to him. It told him how it created a key with its finger to enter the house and how different voice systems were installed inside it. Listening to the robot's funny and strange voice effects made Misha laugh for the first time. After some time, the robot quietly said that it was searching for a family. It wanted to understand what the word family truly meant. It even showed Misha the photo that it had brought from the lab. Looking at the picture made Misha feel sad. He said that it was not a real family at all. According to him, his parents only cared about their work and research. Hearing Misha's words made the robot feel upset, too. It sadly replied that maybe it was useless as well, because it could not even make the person who created it happy. Hearing this, Misha comforted someone from the heart for the very first time. He told the robot that it was not useless at all. In fact, it had made him happy. Then, with a smile, he said, "From today, we are friends. And instead of calling you A1112, I'll call you Robbie." Hearing its new name made the robot incredibly happy. It felt as if someone had finally accepted it for the first time. Meanwhile, back at the lab, General Oleg called an emergency meeting with all the scientists. In anger, he declared that A1112 was now completely out of control. Dangerous weapons were installed inside it, and if it fell into the wrong hands, it could become a threat to the entire world. Just then, Victor suddenly realized that his family photo was missing, too. He immediately suspected that the robot might have gone to his house. On the other side, Misha and Robbie were sitting together at home watching television. But the moment Victor arrived home, Robbie instantly hid itself. Victor searched through the entire house carefully, but he could not find anything suspicious. As soon as he left again, Misha gave Robbie his computer so it could learn new things. Robbie's learning ability was unbelievably fast, and within just a few minutes, it had already absorbed huge amounts of information. Afterward, Misha took it to his friend Grant's workshop, where he created art and paintings. Robbie carefully stared at all the drawings hanging around the place. Then it curiously asked why the pictures were not completely equal and symmetrical. Misha smiled and explained that art did not need to be perfect. It only needed beauty and emotion. After this, he took Robbie near the window, where both of them sat quietly watching the setting sun together. For the first time, Robbie was experiencing the beauty of the world in such an emotional way. Looking at that peaceful view made it feel truly happy. As night slowly arrived, Misha told Robbie that tomorrow it would have to stay hidden because he had to go to school. Now, only Robbie was left alone inside the workshop. Before leaving, Misha handed it a pen so it could also learn how to draw. Meanwhile, General Oleg's soldiers were continuously searching the entire city for A1112. But even after checking several locations, there was still no sign of the robot anywhere. Hearing this only made the general even angrier. He immediately ordered security around the lab to be tightened. Along with that, an alert was spread across the entire city stating that if anyone spotted a strange robot, they should report it immediately. Later that night, Victor, Nadia, and Misha were sitting together at home having dinner. But today, the atmosphere felt unusually quiet and tense. Nadia noticed that Victor looked deeply worried. She softly asked him what was wrong. In a sad voice, Victor revealed that his boss had warned him that the lab might soon be shut down. Hearing this shocked Misha completely. He quickly asked why something like that would happen. Victor then explained that their most dangerous robot, A1112, had gone missing. And if they failed to capture and shut it down soon, the entire team could lose their jobs. The moment Misha heard this, he suddenly became silent because he already knew where Robbie was hiding. The next day at school, class was going on normally. That was when a mischievous boy named Anton started disturbing the teacher using his small remote control robot. The toy robot began moving all around the classroom while the other students laughed loudly. When the teacher became angry, Anton cleverly tossed the remote control toward Mista's desk. Now, the teacher assumed that Mista was the one causing all the trouble. Without even listening to his explanation, she scolded him harshly and threw him out of the classroom. A little later, the sports class began. That was when Mista angrily walked toward Anton, but Anton once again started making fun of him. This time, Mista could not control his anger anymore. He grabbed Anton, slammed him to the ground, and shouted, "Why did you put the blame on me?" The fight between them quickly started getting worse. Just then, the gym teacher came running and separated both of them. Filled with anger, Mista stormed away from the school and went straight to Grant's workshop. When he arrived there, he saw Robbie and Grant peacefully sitting together and playing cards. By now, the two of them had become really good friends. Fear and tension were clearly visible on Mista's face. Seeing this, Robbie asked what had happened. Mista then revealed that the entire military was now searching for him. The government had ordered that he must be found and destroyed at any cost. Hearing this instantly made the atmosphere serious. After thinking for a moment, Mista told Robbie that he should leave the city and go far away. Just then, Grant remembered a place outside the city. He explained that there was a forest area where a terrible fire had broken out many years ago. Ever since then, nobody ever went near that place. The moment Mista heard this, an idea suddenly came into his mind. He said that if Robbie went there and helped stop the fire, people would finally understand that he was not evil. He actually wanted to help humans. Hearing this plan made all three of them excited, but suddenly, loud banging noises started coming from the workshop door. The police were standing outside. They shouted loudly, "Open the door!" Grant intentionally tried to waste time by saying that he was busy at the moment. Meanwhile, taking advantage of the situation, Mista and Robbie quickly ran toward the rooftop. To escape from the police, Robbie lifted Mista onto its back and activated its jet system, flying across the tops of buildings. Even the police were stunned after seeing such an unbelievable sight. A report was immediately sent to headquarters claiming that A1112 had kidnapped a child and escaped while officers were chasing it. During the escape, Mista's phone slipped from his hand and fell onto the ground, but there was no time left to stop. When they realized the police were about to surround them from every direction, Robbie made a massive jump and successfully escaped with Mista. Within minutes, news about A1112 escaping spread across television channels everywhere. Meanwhile, Grant was also being interviewed. The media believed that he was actually a hostage of the robot who had just been rescued by the police. Because of this misunderstanding, the police did not arrest Grant. Meanwhile, Robbie and Mista were hiding inside an unfinished construction building. The two of them sat quietly together and talked for a long time. In frustration, Mista said that he felt terrible because people were spreading lies about Robbie everywhere. Television and the media were showing him as a dangerous robot. In a calm voice, Robbie replied that maybe the problem during his tests was caused by his communication system. Perhaps there was something wrong inside him after all. Hearing this, Mista immediately tried to encourage him. He told Robbie that he he was not useless at all. He was hardworking, intelligent, and most importantly, he was good-hearted. Listening to Mista's words made Robbie feel genuinely happy for the first time. After that, Robbie gave Mista a thermal blanket to protect him from the cold weather. Then the two of them sat together and started watching a movie. But after some time, Mista suddenly became emotional. He remembered that this was the first night when his mother would not say goodnight to him. Robbie softly told him that if he wanted, it could take him back home. But Mista immediately refused. He said that if people saw Robbie, they would destroy him. They would capture him and tear him apart into machine pieces. Hearing this made Robbie realize that Mista truly cared about him. The next morning, both of them woke up because workers had already started working downstairs at the construction site. Mista said that now they needed to do something so nobody could recognize them. He came up with a plan that they should slightly change their appearance. Along with that, they should help stop the forest fire and show people that Robbie actually wanted to help humans. If people started seeing him as a good robot, then maybe even the government would change its decision about destroying him. Meanwhile, at home, Katya arrived to meet Victor and Nadia. Sadly, she informed them that their laboratory had now been officially shut down. Hearing this only made Victor even more worried. Right after that, he went straight to the police station hoping to get some information about his son and A-112. Meanwhile, Robbie and Misha arrived at a huge circus in the city. There was a massive crowd there, so they felt it would be easier to stay hidden among so many people. After talking to the circus workers, both of them wore clown costumes so nobody would recognize Robbie. A little later, Misha told Robbie that he was going to buy bus tickets. Until then, he asked Robbie to change its voice and behavior so nobody would become suspicious. Just then, two kids from Misha's school, Anton and Olya, suddenly arrived there. Seeing Misha shocked both of them because news about his disappearance had already spread across the entire city. That was when Misha told them the truth about Robbie. He explained that Robbie was not a dangerous robot at all. In reality, it was kind and wanted to help people. But after seeing the giant robot standing there in clown clothes, both children became slightly nervous. Misha assured them that Robbie was his friend and that he was only trying to take it somewhere safe. Meanwhile, on the other side, Victor went to meet General Oleg one last time. He begged him not to shut down the laboratory, but the general clearly stated that the decision had already been made, and if he ever found that robot anywhere, he would destroy it immediately. Hearing this completely broke Victor's hopes. He now understood that the general was never going to change his decision. Watching the biggest project of his life fall apart left him shattered from the inside. Back at the circus, Misha asked Anton and Olya to stay with Robbie for a while until he returned with the bus tickets. He also revealed that they were planning to go to the forest and stop the fire so the entire world could see that Robbie was actually a good robot. Along with that, Misha made both of them promise not to tell anyone about this secret. Although they agreed, the moment Misha walked away, Anton clearly had something else in mind. He asked Robbie if it could really perform dangerous and amazing stunts like the ones shown on the news. Hearing this made Robbie excited. It removed its clown costume and started showing off its special moves and incredible strength. Anton immediately pulled out his phone and began recording videos. Seeing this made Olya feel very uncomfortable, but Anton laughed and admitted that he did not care whether the robot survived or got destroyed. He only wanted to upload the video online and become famous. Watching her friend act so selfishly deeply disappointed Olya. After that, Anton walked away while Robbie and Olya continued talking together. Meanwhile, on the other side, Misha was caught by two security guards. After seeing his face and clothes, they became suspicious that he was the same missing boy whose news was spreading across the entire city. A short time later, Victor received a call from the police station. Hearing this finally gave him some relief because at least his son had been found safe. At the same time, Anton uploaded all of Robbie's videos onto social media. Within minutes, the clips started going viral everywhere, and eventually they even reached General Oleg's team. Now they finally had an idea about Robbie's location. At the police station, Victor met his son again. The moment he saw Misha, he tightly hugged him. In panic, he asked where he had been all this time and whether he understood how dangerous that robot was. But Misha clearly replied that Robbie was not evil at all. It never wanted to hurt anyone, and people were simply spreading lies about it. Misha then told his father that Robbie was currently hiding with his friends. After that, he made Victor promise not to inform the police about Robbie's location. At first, Victor hesitated a little, but in the end, he agreed and left with his son. Meanwhile, Olya had completely changed Robbie's appearance using makeup and different clothes. When Victor saw Robbie, he was genuinely surprised. Now, Robbie seemed far more intelligent than before. Even the way it spoke and thought had completely changed. But suddenly, police vehicles arrived at the location. Misha instantly realized that things were about to get much worse. All three of them immediately ran toward a huge cargo warehouse, but the soldiers quickly surrounded them from every side. General Oleg loudly ordered the officers to move the children away immediately so they could destroy Robbie using an electromagnetic weapon. but Victor refused to step back. Seeing this, Oleg ordered the soldiers to forcefully move forward. Just then, the cable of a giant container hanging above suddenly snapped. The massive container was about to fall directly onto General Oleg. Everyone thought Robbie would simply let him die, but in the very next moment, Robbie rushed forward and used all of its strength to hold the container. It was saving the life of the same man who wanted to destroy it, but the container was far too heavy. Slowly, Robbie's body started breaking apart. Its system could no longer handle such an enormous weight. Robbie told everyone to move back, but Misha kept crying and trying to save his friend. Only seconds later, the container crashed down onto Robbie, completely crushing it underneath. Seeing this left even General Oleg shocked. He could not understand why the robot he considered an enemy had just saved his life. After some time, everyone worked together to remove the container. Crying uncontrollably, Misha started saying goodbye to Robbie. Victor was also trying to comfort his son, but then suddenly, movement appeared inside Robbie's system. Slowly, it started activating once again. Seeing this instantly brought smiles back to everyone's faces. Sometime later, Misha created drawings of his entire adventure and showed them to Robbie and Olya. Everyone absolutely loved his artwork. In the end, all of them sat together and shared dinner as one family. That was when Robbie smilingly asked Nadia for her phone because now it also wanted to take a photo with its new family. So, how did you like this movie? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, then like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories like this. See you again in the next video.